I should have known today was going to be a disaster. It started when I spilled coffee on my uniform 5 minutes before my shift. I was both excited and a little nervous because it was my first day working at an airport check-in desk, and I had barely memorized all the airline procedures. But I thought, how hard could it be? Smile, write down a few names, hand over a boarding pass, and that's it? But I was wrong. As soon as I took my seat, chaos began to erupt. A long line of impatient passengers stretched out in front of me, tapping their feet and checking their watches. The first passenger I checked in, a businessman in a crisp navy suit, spoke before I could say anything. "I need to upgrade to first class," he said angrily, slamming his passport on the counter. I hesitated. "Let me check availability." "Available," he interrupted. I checked the app. "Just do it." I swallowed my annoyance and started typing. But when I pulled up his booking, I saw a bright red warning. "Flight overbooked. No seats available." "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir, but first class is full," I repeated in my most apologetic tone. His face turned as red as a beetroot. "This is ridiculous. I'm a gold member. I always fly first class." I explained that the system wouldn't allow the upgrade, but he kept arguing, demanding a supervisor. I waved at my manager, a woman who somehow managed to look exhausted and terrified at the same time. She repeated what I'd said and, like magic, the businessman left without another word. Crisis averted. I breathed a sigh of relief. In the next row was a mother traveling with 2 young children, both screaming at the top of their lungs. She was staring at her phone, looking like she was a second away from joining them in crying. "I booked 3 seats at once," she said, her voice strained. "But when I checked in online, they separated us. I can't let my 6-year-old sit alone with a stranger." I nodded quickly, already typing. "Sure. Let me fix that for you." Except, no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't change seats. The flight was packed. The best I could do was get them in the same row, but not side by side. "That won't work," she said, her voice shaky. "Please, I can't let my child sit alone." I glanced at the line behind her. People were moving impatiently, rolling their eyes, but I couldn't just ignore a mother in distress. I took a deep breath and picked up the intercom. "Attention passengers on Flight 103 to Miami. We have a mother traveling with young children who needs to be seated together. If anyone would like to change seats, please come to the counter." Silence. Then, an older man stepped forward and smiled. "I'll change." I thanked the man profusely, rearranged the seating arrangements, and waved her off. The mother seemed somewhat calmer now, and just when I thought I finally had everything under control, a new problem arose. A man with sunglasses and a fedora stepped up. "Hey, I checked in for my flight online, but I need a printed boarding pass," he said casually. "No problem," I replied, reaching for his ID. I typed his name into the system and hit print, but instead of spitting out a boarding pass, the printer gave me an error message. "Passenger not found." I frowned and double-checked the spelling. Same error. "Sir, I don't see your reservation in the system. Can I check your confirmation email?" He pulled out his phone, scrolling through his inbox. Then, he froze. Slowly, he turned the screen toward me. The ticket was for yesterday. "Oh no," he whispered. I tried to think of a way to soften the blow. "Sir, this ticket was for—" "Don't say it," he muttered, rubbing his temples. "I booked the wrong date, didn't I?" I nodded sympathetically. "Unfortunately, yes, but we might be able to rebook you on another flight." "Forget it," he groaned, and walked away in defeat. By the time my shift ended, I was exhausted. My feet hurt, my head pounded, and I was pretty sure I had aged at least 5 years in one day. But as I took off my name tag and grabbed my bag, my manager passed by and clapped me on the shoulder. "Not bad for your first day," she said with a smirk. I let out a breathless laugh. "This was normal?" she grinned. "Oh, honey, this was calm."